Welcome to the JP Podcast. I'm your host, John.
I'm your co-host, Tom.
And today's video or podcast, we were talking with a friend of ours from work, Jay, and Jay's Indian. We got to talking about his foods and everything. Jay mentioned, hey, let's go out and try some Indian food. So that's what we did. We got together with Jay, and he also brought another guy from work, Sam. Sam is not Indian.
No, he was from Jordan, but Jay, who's from the western part of India, let us know that Sam is an honorary Indian, so he was along for the ride. He had been immersed in their culture for the last 18 to 20 years, so he had a lot of knowledge on the food that we experienced as well.
So we're going to meet up with them. We're going to get in the car, and I do want to apologize before anything. I know it's going to be kind of bumpy because we're trying a new format here. We're going to be doing a lot of videoing on the go, so we're going to be doing this from my cell phone, and going to see how it turns out.
Jay's from the western side of India, and Sam is our honorary Indian. They chose a place today called Saffron Patch. We got to enjoy the buffet they have there. One of the things they explained to us is that gives us a chance to try multiple different things as opposed to just one dish at a time. And be prepared. There are some spices along with the Indian food, so we had to get adjusted to that as well. And we got some good service and some good food while we were there. So we hope you enjoy.
Okay, we're in the car with Jay and Sam. Tom's back there, and we're just going to do a little bit of talking on the way there, get to know these guys a little bit, and move on from there. First of all, I want to thank you guys for doing this with us. This is going to be a fun time. You know, when I do ethnic food, I like to go with somebody who is ethnic from that, for the food that we're going to eat there. I'm very excited about doing this with Jay. We actually work together. And we got to talking about Indian food one day. He said, yeah, let's go do it. Tom said he was down, and Sam's down too. Jay is Indian, right, Jay?
Last I checked.
From India?
Yep, I'm from India. I'm from the western part of India. It's a state called Gujarat. I was born and brought up in Gujarat, India, and I came here when I was about 16. So I've actually been here longer than I have been back home, but wherever Indians go, they take India with them. So I'm still like Indian food, cook Indian food at home, also visit Indian restaurants. So this was a good opportunity to kind of introduce John and Tom to the Indian cuisine, and I brought Sam along with me because he's an honorary Indian.
But the place we are going to is a pretty authentic version of what you would have been served at home.
Yeah. So the thing is, with the restaurant that we're going to, it's actually called Bamboo Garden. So it's a fusion between Indian food and Chinese food. So the thing there is that when you talk about authentic food, it depends on which part of India you come from. They actually cook their own kind of cuisine. So I happen to be from the western part of India, and the cuisine that we cook is actually Gujarati food, and the restaurants that you find mostly in this northeast Ohio are North Indian food and South Indian food. So it is authentic in the sense that this restaurant serves up North Indian dishes, and it also serves this Chinese food, which is Indo-Chinese. What we've done is, in India, we actually go ahead and get the Chinese food and cook it Indian style. So the place that we're going to is more of a North Indian flavor. I don't know if they also serve South Indian food, which is typical to when you travel down southern part of India. They have their own cuisines, but it is definitely an Indian experience. Yes.
We've been there many times, and the food is really good. The spices, you can tell it's Indian spices.
Oh, that's what I'm curious about. See how we handle the spice, John, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I can't handle it too hot, but something with a bite I'm looking forward to. I've had Indian before, maybe twice, and I went once with my uncle, and I'm not really sure if I ordered the right thing, if that makes sense, you know. I just picked something out, and that's what we ate, but didn't know what I was eating. It was good. It was very good. You guys had rice in there. You eat a lot of rice?
So yes, I think both the northern cuisine and the southern cuisine does have a lot of rice in it. There's a lot of different dishes that they make. They usually use basmati rice, which could just be plain rice with like spices in it, like cumin. They also make biryanis, which means that they will actually cook rice with a lot of different flavors, and they couldn't be vegetarian flavors and they can be non-vegetarian flavors. So yes, rice is definitely one of the staple foods of India, and you will find it pretty much everywhere, no matter which part of India you go to.
You know what I like about having you two here is you're a vegetarian, correct?
Yeah, I am vegetarian, so that's why I wanted to bring Sam along, because
I'm not vegetarian.
Yeah, neither am I. So, you know, we'll actually get two different points of view as far as the foods go. And because I'm sure there's some vegetarians. I know my son's a vegetarian.
And then also the Indian cuisine, from what I was researching, they actually base a lot of their menus off of vegetarian menus. They tend to stick towards that and then sprinkle in the carnivore style meals, huh?
Right, so it's different. Actually, the thing is, there are parts of India. So I come from the state which is on the western part of India called Gujarat, and the population of Gujarat, I would say, is not mostly, but I would say a lot of Indians that hail from Gujarat are vegetarians. But having said that, if you look at the Indian cuisine and the different parts of India, they're not all vegetarians, because if you look at the North India, there's a lot of non-vegetarian items that people eat as a staple, like lamb, chicken, goat, those. And then when you go down south, the southern India is a peninsula, so there's a sea on both sides, ocean on both sides. So there's a lot of fish that they consume as you go down to the southern part of India, and also on the eastern part of India. So it's actually, when you come across Indians, it's maybe you come across people who are vegetarians, but it's not that all Indian food is vegetarian. There's a lot of non-vegetarian options that people consume, and it is part of the staple.
A lot of the vegetarian Indians are due to their religion too, because they can't eat beef, they can't eat a lot of meat products.
Right. So India, like a lot of even Hindus, there are Hindus who are not vegetarians, but they will not consume beef because they consider cow as a sacred animal. So they will consume chicken and goat and things like that. And then India also has a lot of Muslim population, and they will not consume pork. So you will find a lot of non-vegetarian food in India, and depends on what background you have, whether you're a Hindu or a Muslim. You may not consume certain kind of meat, but you will consume the others.
Do you have a go-to dish? Do you have something that's your personal favorite that's a staple?
So the thing is, when we typically go to a restaurant, so like I said, I come from Gujarat, and usually we cook Gujarati food at home, which is vegetarian style. It's cooked a little differently than what you would experience at the restaurant. When we go to the restaurants, typically for the North Indian dishes, I tend to go towards food with paneer in it. So paneer is actually like Indian cheese, and they make it. I'm not sure of the process, but it's actually made of milk, and you can make it at home as well. Or you can buy it from a from a grocery store, which is pretty much what we do. But anything with paneer in it is something that I gravitate towards if I'm looking for like North Indian food. And if I'm looking for like a South Indian food, then pretty much there is a dish called dosa, and it is made of like rice flour, and they stuff it with like this spicy potato stuffing, and it comes with a lentil soup on the side. And that's like my go-to food if I'm looking for South Indian food. So
Is that the dal?
yeah, that's dal, but for the South Indian food they call it sambar. So yeah, when we look at North Indian food, they call it dal. So it may have the same lentil, but they cook it differently. And if you are an Indian, or if you had Indian food a lot, then you can kind of notice the difference, whether you're eating like a North Indian dal or a South Indian sound.
Yeah, when I was watching the videos, because that's how I do some of my research, I was seeing that the foods in India are very regional
Yes.
and everything like that. And we were talking about before, earlier in the week, we were talking about this place we're going to is more of a street food.
So the place that we are going to is actually more of a North Indian and the Chinese street food fusion. That's what
All
we're
right.
going to, because if you know, in India, even when I was back in India, which is, you know, gosh, I came to this country in '88. Before that, you know, we used to get like packet noodles, and you know that actually was because Indians wanted to taste the Chinese noodles, and they wanted to kind of eat that noodles, you know. But then what we would do is that with the noodles, we will actually go ahead and put our Indian spices in it, you know, and cook it Indian style.
That's what
So-
I was gonna say. Anything you can eat anything as long as you put Indian spices in it to make it taste good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never ate what is it,
Tofu.
Tofu, yeah.
in Indian because they put it tasted good.
Yeah,
I could eat it
yeah.
somewhere else, but it had no taste.
Yeah.
So their spices make anything, I think, good. At least for me.
Yeah, I'm really excited to try the spices there. I'm you know, I love trying something new, and I'm just excited to see what it's going to smell like going in there. I love the aroma of different kinds of foods and eating something I've never really been exposed to.
Here's a random question. When you came over, you said in '88, was there something you ate over here that you were like, oh wow, that's like
Pizza.
pizza?
Pizza.
Oh, I mean, if you go to India, I mean, Indians are crazy about pizza. You know?
Wow.
I mean, and the funny thing is that from the place where I came from, you know, the pizza, you can actually get pizza as street food. And the way they cook pizza in India is that they put a lot of tomato ketchup in it, and the cheese that they shred and put on top of the pizza is not melted, you know. So it's kind of
different style.
it's a different style, right? Yep. So, you know, actually, there's a place in Medina now. It's the Ohio Valley Pizza, and you know, they kind of make pizza where they don't melt the cheese. I haven't tried it.
But they
But-
reminded you of the
Yeah, but that's how you kind of eat, and everything. I mean, when I came from India, like everything I would like put tomato ketchup on it. You know what I mean? That's like one of the typical things that Indians do when they come straight from India. Like, you know, you'll get a pizza from the store or from a restaurant, and you'll just go ahead and douse it with tomato ketchup. You know?
This is the non-vegetarian side, and that's the vegetarian side. Soups, appetizers, and the curries. We also have the bamboo garden menu.
Oh, this all looks amazing. Yes, I do want some rice.
I'm going to put a little of everything so that you are aware of. That's a tandoori chicken. It's made in clay oven. That's chili chicken, the Asian style.
Okay.
Sweet and sour chicken. Do you do fish?
Sure.
Okay, black bean fish. And it's the tilapia.
Okay.
That's the most popular dish on the menu, butter chicken. It's really good.
I've had that before.
Okay.
Not here, but that's what the one dish I had.
It's chicken chetna, this one, which is black pepper base.
Mmm.
We're gonna put the naan on top later.
Okay.
Just put some noodles on the side. That's water chestnuts, very rare.
I just followed her up we're gonna go from there. See how it comes out.
Okay, so you're doing the exact same thing?
You
Yeah.
wanted to put your plate away and then you
Oh
want
no,
to
I'm good. I'm gonna actually put the naan on top like she recommended as well.
Man, this looks amazing. Look at this here.
Looks so good.
So, I had her put a little bit of everything on there because I wanted to try a little bit of everything. Then I come back and get it with the.
What is this?
So these are onion pakoras. So this is the tamarind chutney, tamarind sauce. That's a cilantro and mint.
Well, that looks good.
And some onions.
Wow.
And that's a chickpea flour.
Is that how you make it? You just put everything
That's how you make
together?
it. Yeah. These
Awesome.
are basically like a snack, which goes very well with alcohol.
Yeah. Give me.
That looks delicious, doesn't it?
Yeah. Give me
Some naan.
Yeah. What is that?
Naan, that's the bread.
It's the bread.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. There you go.
Silverware, pretty much.
Looking nice there. Jeez.
Start eating that bread, you want.
Yeah. I don't think I'm coming back for seconds.
4 people
smells
are
so
sitting.
good.
Okay.
Mixed veggies there. As you can see, really digging into this. What do you find you like the most, Tom?
The chickpea marsala so far has been my favorite. The tandoori chicken's really good. It's so good, and literally everything I put in, everything I've eaten so far has been really delicious. I'm not even a big fish guy, and the fish was
Yeah.
good. I would even get that again.
Yeah, I grubbed on the fish. My favorite is whatever this was. I got to go get the name of it, but I think it was beef. No, it wouldn't be beef. It'd be pork. It's all chicken. Okay, whatever. Okay, whatever this is my favorite by far. I mean, it's all amazing. I kind of just
That's a spicy chicken.
Yeah, I forgot.
got into all of it, but I tell you what, it's got a little bite to it. It was very good.
And actually, I was wrong. I lied to you guys a little bit. By far, my favorite thing is the naan. I would sit there and eat that by itself. I could sit and eat this all day by itself.
So the way that the traditional way of making naan is they actually have a clay oven, so what they do is they actually put like coal and that's how they actually heat
the
up.
clay.
Yeah, and then they will actually go ahead and make the dough, make the bread, and then they will stamp it on
They put it
the
on a griddle, and they stick their hand in this.
put it on the side of the oven. And that's how they actually go ahead and make it.
And here's the second plate I'm going to be diving into. See, what I like about this is I like rice. I'm being Puerto Rican, and we eat a lot of rice, but this is something I ordered the last time I went to an Indian restaurant because it looked close enough to Puerto Rican. So you know what I mean? Not to be funny, and I enjoyed it. To me, like this is an Indian meal here that I would expect to see. If that makes sense. So,
Yes, it looks very.
it's amazing. Tom's already been picking at it because these are fried onions, right?
Fried onions and
And
vegetables.
vegetables. We're going to try these. I haven't tried this yet, so I'm going to try this next.
That's a chickpea masala.
Okay, chickpea masala. Had to turn this back on because we found out that the waitress or the hostess is Indian, but she was vegetarian and something different that goes into the culture a little bit deeper, you would say?
Right,
So
right.
what was going on with that, Jay?
So she's Indian, but she's Jain, and that's a religion. And according to that religion, they are very strict even in eating vegetarian food. So they won't eat anything that grows on the ground. So that means they won't eat potatoes, they won't eat onions, they won't eat garlic, they won't eat like carrots.
So she actually is bringing us something out.
So we're talking about Jainism.
This is from yesterday.
Okay.
Oh, this is a dessert.
This is a dessert.
Thank you.
Might be too sweet, but try it because
Okay.
we specially made it for our friend. It's made out of this all the kind of dried fruits,
Okay.
pistachio, almonds. We put dates in there,
And it's just like a
and
scooping
then
thing.
it's got vermicelli.
Okay.
They're like noodles.
Is it kind of like a rubbery kind of?
It is a rubbery sauce.
Okay.
It's just called sherperma.
Very good.
It's good.
Let's see what Tom thinks.
Thanks. So there's an Indian equivalent of this.
Very good.
It's called rubbery.
Very good.
So
The pistachios are delicious.
I'm going to give it a try myself. All right, here we are back, and we just finished an amazing meal there. What did you guys think about it?
It was awesome.
I am so stuffed. I mean, they had everything in. Awesome place. It was an awesome environment. The name was Saffron
Patch.
Saffron Patch.
Saffron Patch.
And very, very good hospitality. What was her name?
Zerna.
Yeah, she took care of us, and I highly recommend this place. It was an amazing place and amazing time. And I wanted to thank Jay and Sam. You know, I didn't know what to expect when we came out here. The food, I had a little bit of everything. Tom, what did you think about it?
Yeah, I was, you know, you think of Indian food, you think of the spices, and you think of that experience. And I can tell you, there were a few things that had some spice to it, but nothing that was unbearable. And everything, and I mean everything, was delicious. Even the fish. I know I'm not much of a fish person, but the fish was really good, really good.
Yeah, there was nothing that I said to myself like, "Oh, this isn't good." Everything was good. I mean, if I were to sit down and eat just one thing, I would be more than satisfied with what it was. And I thank you for introducing me into that. You know, that cultural foods there, and it was just amazing. I don't have enough to say for Jay and Sam and the food we just had. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was good. It was a non-vegetarian and a vegetarian buffet set up, and there were a lot of vegetarian entries. You know, for me, because I'm a vegetarian, and everything was pretty tasty. You know, it was a North Indian cuisine, and everything from. They also had some street food there. So everything from street food to the actual meal to the dessert was it was great.
Also, if there was anything that was completely fresh every time we went to the buffet, which Tom and I went at least twice or 3 times, the naan bread was excellent.
Yeah, that was absolutely phenomenal. I could see being addicted to naan bread. And then too, if you're similar to myself, where you know you haven't had the experience of Indian food, Saffron Patch is definitely the way to go. It was delicious, and nothing was overbearing where I needed to cool my mouth down or anything. So once again, thank you so much for the hospitality.
All right, and we're back. Had a wonderful lunch with Jay and Sam. As you guys could tell, there was plenty of food for everybody. Got to try a little bit of everything, including some stuff that wasn't even on the menu or the buffet. We had some great service and hospitality. They brought us things from behind the scenes, which, once again, I didn't find a single dish there that I wouldn't have eaten on its own.
Yeah, I didn't. First of all, I wanted to say, wow, I loved everything about it. We tried all different kinds of the foods there, and you know, there's a lot of background there. There's a lot of vegetarian influences. There's a lot of religious influences. You know, the one meal we had from the server, Zarna, who was awesome, by the way. Highly recommend, you know, before I go on with this, I highly recommend, because if you're going into a place and you don't know anything about it, this place, she actually, you know, was explaining things to us and telling us, and that's the way I like it when I go to a place. You know, I want to be told, because I really don't know what I'm getting into, you know, and she explained everything to a T. This was this, this was that. This is a little bit spicy. Okay, this is the Indian street food. Okay, this is the, they had a little bit of Chinese influence. You know, this is this is that. And she was the greatest. She made that experience, you know,
Yeah,
she took it up to above a 10.
And like we were saying before, she made it comfortable. So if I had a question, or if we had a question, or if there was something I really truly didn't know why it was done that way, she not only explained it, but explained it, you know, for the right reasons. Like you mentioned, the religious reason on why they don't do this, or maybe, you know, why they this, or why it's prepared this way. And it was phenomenal. The service was great, food was great, atmosphere was great. And the price isn't bad. I know we're doing a little promotion for the saffron patch, but if you're looking to dip your toes in the water of Indian cuisine, Saffron Patch in North Olmsted, Ohio.
Yeah, for those of you that live in Ohio, I would definitely give them a try. And it's not just because of the food, which was awesome.
Yeah.
The service was amazing. And the atmosphere, I mean, everybody there were people sitting around. They were all smiling. Everybody just seemed happy.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just great. And you had some music playing in the background. And, you know, the whole setup was just awesome all the way around. I mean, we tried everything from their traditional foods to, and I think Jay was saying that this was more of a northern food.
Yeah, this is more towards the, like they said, northern, eastern, and then touching into the southern part of India. And this is how they prepared their food. And then, as you've seen throughout the video, you know, Zarna also brought us some foods from where would be the more western side, and they let us try a little bit of everything, and it was phenomenal. It was honestly. As a first Indian experience for the cuisine, it was better than I expected and more flavorful than it is spicy. You know, you hear Indian, you think the spice, you think of, you know, you watch movies and you see how spicy. I'm sure there are spots that get the spice that, you know, you can ask for it to go higher and higher, but this was a perfect blend of flavor and spice. So.
Yeah, and once again, I want to thank Jay and Sam. You know, Jay, when I approached him at work and we started talking about it, he was very excited. He said, "Yeah," and I'm very happy I did this. Like I said in the beginning part of the video, when I go to try somebody's food, I like to go either with that somebody or somebody that knows a lot about it, because I have a lot of questions about it. You know, it was just a great experience, and my idea when I went there is I put one of everything on my dish, and I tried it all, and I actually had 2 plates full, and wow, you know, for the price, and leaving there, I was done, and they were bringing more stuff out, and I was done. I was like, if I take one more bite of something, I'm going to put myself over the edge.
They were so gracious that at the end they told us to slow down on eating because they had more food they wanted to bring us. And at that point, I was at the top of my limit. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, so it's a very good place, and thanks Jay and Sam for taking us out, and we're actually going to do it again because Jay said. We were just, that was the tip of the iceberg, that there's just so much more. So we plan to go out again and try some different type of, another different type of Indian food. So, you know, I can't express any more how grateful I am to Jay and Sam for you know, giving us this experience and letting us put it into a podcast. You know, it was just very, very, very awesome. You know, it was just a very good time, and I highly recommend this Saffron Patch.
And for anyone who, you know, as you can tell, we're trying different things with this podcast and trying to hit different venues, and the cuisine part of this podcast is something I really enjoy. I enjoy trying different things, and if anyone out there who's, you know, a little hesitant of different cuisines, this is a perfect starter. Like Jay said, it's the tip of the iceberg, and it gives you a lot of the flavors and a lot of the idea of what Indian cuisine is without hitting you too hard in the mouth with the spices and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I did hit one at the end, and I said, okay, I'm done, because it had a bite to it, and it was spicy.
And that was my favorite. That one was one I preferred.
There was the one I liked was the chicken, and I showed it on there.
Chicken chutney.
Chutney,
chutney.
And it was more of a peppery, like a black pepper taste to it, and I love that. You know, when I season my meats, I try to do more of a black pepper taste to it. So I just
Hit that
love
one on
that.
the nose for you. Then.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
good. It
it's
was
definitely
really
going to
good.
be something once in a while that I do, and add it to my food palette of you know, going out and have Chinese or going out and have Greek food. Well, now I'm going to go out and have some Indian food because, and I'm definitely going there because just the variety they had was just amazing. It was just an amazing time. And once again, thank you to everybody. So hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to like and comment, and the subscribers.
There's subscribers, but yeah, they could just keep subscribing and let everybody know to keep subscribing. And once again, we appreciate all the hospitality. Jay, Sam, Saffron Patch, Zarna, all of you. We greatly appreciate everything you guys did for us, and it didn't go unappreciated. It didn't go, you know, without some knowledge that came with it. We learned a lot from you guys. So thank you.
Right. I totally agree. And sorry, we're getting this new phone format down, and I couldn't find a button that keeps it from shaking. And so when I'm in there, I couldn't find it in the settings. So on the drive there, you're going to see it's a little bumpy. I'm sorry about that, but it tends to get a nice and smooth towards the end there. And I promise you, by the next one, we'll have that figured out.
Yeah, it's learning curve. We'll get there.
So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show and you take it easy, and see you guys soon.